Good morning, friends. I have been thinking for quite some time that I have been giving lectures on stress management for the last 20 years or so. Now, instead of focusing only classroom based lectures with the technology now available, why not spread this information to each and every one of you? Ultimate purpose of life is to lead a happy and contented life. Please remember, millions and millions of creatures are born in this world, but we are made as human beings. If there is a purpose in creating this universe, if there is a purpose in creating millions and millions of creatures, there is also a definite purpose in creating us as human beings. Because it is in this birth human being, if we want, we can make our life a happy life. We can also make the life of others as happy. It is this particular speciality of creating happiness in others that stands unique in our life. You may ask me, what is the way for happiness? Actually, if you ask me the way to Tinaveli or Trivandrum or Chennai, I can show you the way. But if you ask me the way for happiness, I cannot show, because there is no way for happiness, but happiness is the way. If we think we are happy, our life is also going to be happy. So, the crux of the problem is how to make this life happy. We may think every day there is problems in life. But the fact is, without problems, there is no life. Some may say, even in symmetry, there is absolutely no problem. But those days have gone. Even in symmetry, these days, due to space shortage, people are even thinking of digging the old grave and constructing multi-layered graves and so on and so forth. So, absolutely there is no life without a problem. You cannot eliminate problems from life. But the secret is, we can solve problems, we can manage problems. Problems and happiness are two sides of the same coin. There is absolutely no coin without a head or no coin without a tail. So, happiness is a state of mind. When the mind is disturbed, we undergo tremendous stress and tension. Now, let me give the definition of Dr. Charles Edward. He defines stress as the wear and tear of the body due to various demands of life, and also the internal attitudes and thoughts. Now let us discuss this in two parts. The first part is the various demands of life. In life, we play various roles as a son, as a father, as a brother, father-in-law, brother-in-law, son-in-law, officer, supervisor, subordinate, and so many roles we play collectively as well as independently. Each role has got a tremendous responsibility and demands on us. Each role has got a certain characteristics which we need to understand. Normally, when we do transactional analysis, we say our mind is like a tape recorder. Whatever it hears, whatever it observes or sees, it records the impression it has created in one corner of the mind. It differs from the tape recorder in one aspect. That means the tape recorder will record the audio, but the mind also records the emotional part displayed by the incidents. So when a character, say a father-in-law character is displayed, when it sees the father-in-law's reaction, not only the message, but also his body language is also recorded. So every character, when it displays or when it plays, the emotions attached with also it gets automatically recorded. Sometimes we shift our roles. That is why they say in each one of us there is a parent inside, there is an adult inside, there is a child inside every one of us. So every role has got certain demands in life and causes sometimes while discharging the demands, it also causes tremendous stress and tension. A traffic police constable, he was managing the traffic. His friend passed that way and stopped talking to him. Then he said, "Why you people are always using a very rude voice? Why don't you use a friendly voice?" He said, "Okay, wait for a minute." He said, "Auto 7542, please remove your auto. You are parked in a wrong way." Like that for 5 minutes he pleaded. Nobody bothered. Now he said, "Listen for a minute. Time 7542. Remove that auto." When he started using power in his voice, the autos dispersed within a minute. So incidentally, every role has got certain demands in our character, in our day-to-day life, and that brings tremendous stress and tension. More than that, please note, more than that, it is the internal attitude and thoughts that causes tremendous tension. So naturally, the next question that comes is, what is attitude? Now, there are a lot of quotes on attitudes, but there is a very simple meaning of this word attitude. Let me explain this with a small incident. A young priest who just graduated was supposed to give the first prayer class on a Sunday. This particular priest was known to be a very good orator, and so the news spread very quickly, and that day there was a large gathering to hear his maiden speech. All of them were seated on the dais, and this young priest has to commence his prayer. On seeing such a large gathering, he got panicked, and words failed to come out. There was an awkward silence, and he was struggling with his nervousness because the words were not coming. So the senior priest who was sitting next to him, he said, "My dear young man, these are all our people. Don't worry about anything. You just start. Behold, I am coming." He just looked at the senior priest and said in a nervous voice, "Behold, I am coming." Then also the prayer words did not come. And he was struggling and he was sweating, and this was an awkward moment. Again, the senior priest said, "My dear young man, you are on the right track. You put some more emphasis and say confidently." So he was saying, "Behold, I am coming." Then also the words did not come. And the crowd was becoming little restless. So the senior priest said, "My dear man, please catch hold of the parapet. And with maximum pressure, you thunder out, 'Behold, I am coming.'" When he said so, the wooden parapet broke, and he fell on an old lady sitting on the first row. Both of them were hurt little, but it was most embarrassing. So the young priest got up quickly and said, "I am sorry, madam, I am sorry. This all happened because of me, and I was nervous." The old lady said, "Don't worry, father. I am also responsible for this." The young priest was confused. "How could you be responsible? It's all because of me. I was nervous and I forgot whatever I have prepared. If at all somebody has to be blamed, it is the senior priest who asked me to catch the parapet. I never thought of holding the parapet. It is the senior priest who suggested, and if at all somebody has to be blamed, it is the senior priest. How could you be blamed?" Then the old lady said, "It is not like that, father. You have given me 3 times warning. Behold, I am coming. I should have prepared to welcome you." You see, attitude is how you react in life. If life is 10% what is happening to us, 90% how we react in life. What is happening to us, we have absolutely no control. But how we react to a particular situation, it is within our control. In the 3rd law of physics, it always says every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. This holds good even for the human relationships also. But please remember, in between action and reaction, there is a minute time gap. In this time gap, we can give or we can decide what kind of an action we can give for that, or what kind of a reaction we can give for that action. Please remember, stress is caused not by the action, it is by the reaction. So how we control our reaction? many people will remain silent. We may say silent is not a reaction, but actually silent is also a reaction. How to use that silence as a powerful weapon? Many of us, we think when we remain silent, it means we are controlling all other emotions. But the fact is, silence is also a part of our emotional aspects. In fact, it controls all other emotions and gives an opportunity to decide what kind of a reaction. Because in chemical or any other incident, every action no doubt creates a reaction. But in human relationship, there are two possibilities. One is reaction and the second one is proaction. What is reaction and what is proaction? We need to understand very clearly. Suppose you have a adorable pet, maybe a dog or a cat. It is sleeping on the floor, and due to some urgent work or something, you are rushing out. At that time, accidentally you have stepped on that pet. What will be its reaction? Spontaneously, it will catch that leg with all its power, and later it will regret. If it is a pet, it will regret later. But the reaction will be spontaneous or immediately. It will not think whose leg, it is my own lovable person. It will not think all those things, because the animal knows only two things: either to fight or to run away. So this reaction, which is spontaneous, we call it as animal instinct. We too have this instinct within us. So when most of the time, when the situation provokes, many of us, we react. But proaction is to select an appropriate action which will benefit everyone involved, comes out of proaction, out of our thought process. So this action and reaction, as I said in my previous talk, there is a small time frame. In this time frame, we can decide whether we have reaction or proaction. Because reaction creates further stressful activities, a chain of stressful events, whereas proaction prevents further reactions or further chain of reactions. Once Lord Buddha was giving a prayer class. After the prayer class, one person stood up and started abusing Lord Buddha with so many harsh words. Lord Buddha was sitting silently for some time. So after that person left, one of his disciples asked him, "Sir, you have not shown any reaction when he was using such a harsh words which hurt us like anything." He said, Suppose you are giving a gift to me. If I am not accepting that gift, what is your position? He said, I have to take back the gift. The gift belongs to whom? When I have not accepted the gift, and when I have given you, and the gift which you have brought, you have to necessarily take back, it belongs to you. So when a person is using harsh words, only if I accept, it hurts me. If I do not accept, naturally it belongs to you. That is why pro-action is very important character within us to break that chain of stress. When somebody is abusing, it creates a chain of events. Our pro-action will cut further chain of reactions. That is why remaining silent for some time will create an upper hand for us. One thing please always remember, your character may be worth a diamond. Your character may be worth a diamond, but for a dog, it is only a piece of stone. You know, if it is a male dog, it will be another lamppost. The diamond cannot regret that the dog has not appreciated its value, whether it is in the gutter or in the crown of a prince. The diamond will always glitter. It is for the other person to appreciate the value of a diamond. So please remember, every one of us, their characters is worth a diamond. But never regret the other person has not appreciated. It depends on the value system one has been brought up in life. What is value system? And amongst the value system, the most important aspect is the question, who am I? This may look as a simple question, who am I? But in reality, it is the most difficult question, who am I? The power of value system. Based on our experience in life, likes and dislikes, family background, environment, and other socio-economic factors, we have, in the subconsciousness, we have developed a value system. This value system sometimes can be used in a positive manner to prevent the chain of reaction. What is a value system, or what is the meaning of a value? The simple meaning is what we consider as most valuable in life. Somebody explained, the value of a value is valuable to me only if the value of the value is valuable to me. More confusing, isn't it? But the simple meaning is what I consider as most valuable in life. It is often said, the principles we live in decides the world we live. If we change the principle, we can change the world. The question, who am I? To explain the power of this question, who am I? Let me share with you a very painful incident which took place some 50 years ago in a mountainous region which was captured by the neighboring country. When took control of that mountainous region, they banned all religious practices. In that mountainous region, there was one particular practice which was there for ages. When an elderly person comes opposite, they stand up, keep both the arms on the chest, bow their heads and say Tasi Dilai. This means I respect the greatness in you. That particular practice was also banned. They said no more Tasi Dilai because we have banned all religious practice. In this mountainous region, there was one particular village, interior village, connected to the outside world by a bridge. A deep river was flowing and that particular village was connected to the outside world only by a bridge. One day, the young leader of the village, who is around 35 years, he was walking in a lonely path. When he was walking on the lonely path, the elderly person of that village came opposite. He forgot everything and in the spurt of the moment, he kept both the arms on his chest, bowed his head and said Tasi Dilai. This was heard by the army officer who was patrolling that area. Immediately this village leader was arrested. The charge was that you disobeyed the majesty of our country. The majesty has ordered that all religious practices are banned. Being a village leader, you have to be an example. Now, when you have breached and insulted our majesty, you have to face the punishment. This news spread like a wildfire, and next day they said the punishment will be pronounced in the open village Maidan. When he was brought to that particular meeting place in that village, he saw a huge crowd and saw all his relatives were standing in one particular place. His two young children, wife, father, mother and all relatives were made to stand in a particular area. He thought something is going to happen, so he said, whatever punishment, please give it to me. Please don't give any punishment to my village people and family members. Those authorities, they said, they will be punished because they have elected you as a leader and you also will be punished. With this, from the 33 close relatives, 10 people were children less than 10 years old. The remaining 23 people were asked to dig a big pit within 3-4 hours. So within 3-4 hours, all of them. Now, all the 33 people, including the young children, were asked to stand in the middle of the pit. Lot of clothes were put inside, petrol was put inside, and they were lighted alive. A heartbreaking event. Everybody was shocked. Everybody was crying. Tears were flowing. And they witnessed one of the most gruesome incidents. Now these people, the authorities, so-called authorities, took this person, the person who was weeping uncontrolled, without any control. They took him to the only bridge which was connected outside, and knowing fully well this is the only connection and these people will not enter into deep water, they blew the bridge and said, this is the punishment for electing you as a leader by these people. And they said, we are leaving, but if you want to construct a bridge, we will not object, because they knew these people will not go into deep water. Everybody shocked and with tears running, they were looking at this person. For a moment he looked each one of them. He went and took the biggest boulder and went to the deepest portion of the river for the first time in his life, put the stone there, came back and said, I am prepared to put 100 stones for each of my people killed today. Whoever wants to come with me, they can come and put the stones. He put 33 stones on that day and collapsed. Few years after that, this particular author who wrote the book Emotional Intelligence, he was visiting, and the old village person, an elderly person who accompanied him as a guide, was going with him, and he narrated this. The author asked him, how can I believe this story as a true story? He said, I was that village leader. Then the author asked him, what made you to do like that? He said, when that calamity struck me, two things came to my mind. The first question is, who am I? I am the village leader. Whatever happened to me, I have to lead my people. I have to give confidence to my people. That made me to go to the deepest portion on that day. And the second thing is the responsibility I have. So many times when an event creates tremendous stress, before negative thoughts come into your mind, please remember, who am I? You are the head of the family. You are the head of the organization at whatever be the level. Whatever steps you take, it should protect you, your family, your institution. We have seen particularly the negative aspect of value system. If you see the question, who am I? If it is used in a negative manner based on authority or money power, it creates tremendous stressful situations for the people who are very close by. In our society, even after 60 years of independence, we have not removed the VIP culture. Many times, if you think, who am I, in a negative way, it creates tremendous superiority complex and expects that all the people should give special treatment and should treat you as a very important person. This automatically creates a chain of events which we are seeing on day-to-day basis. So try to use this who am I in a positive manner, so that even when stressful conditions occur, we can reduce the damages to a greater extent. Now, in this session 6, we shall talk about another aspect of value system, that is the belief system. Just like value system, we have also developed a belief system within us. This belief system, as like any other value system or emotions, can also contribute in a positive manner or in a negative manner. If it is on a positive manner, what will happen? And if it is on a negative manner, how this creates a very painful situation. Let me share with you a live incident that happened few years ago. When India won the Kargil war, some of the film personalities decided to organize a cultural program to collect donations for the service personnel. This cultural program was also telecasted live in local channels. So that day, night around 8:30, in one of the families, a very traditional family, highly orthodox, the head of the family is very simple but highly principled person, respected all in the society. He had two sons. The elder son was working in Dubai and the second son was living with him. On that day, they were all sitting together and enjoying this cultural program. At that time, somebody knocked the front door. So naturally, everybody was involved in the cultural program. Nobody wanted to leave the place and nobody was attending to that. The father looked at the younger son and said, "Are you not hearing? Just go and see who has come." He was murmuring something. So the mother always who volunteers to avoid the friction in the family, she went and came back and told the father or head of the family that somebody has come to see you. This man is also president of the local association, and so he went to see who has come. Within a minute or so, people heard some raised voices, but what was shocking was he was shouting with a painful voice which heard like a death cry. All the family members rushed to the front door. To their shock, they found this person was lying in a pool of blood and he was stabbed many times. When they tried to catch the two people who were standing there, they tried to stab the younger son also. So 3-4 ladies who were there with him somehow managed to protect him, and they have pushed him to a room. They locked the room, made a big shout, and hearing the commotion, neighbors all came out and these two people ran away. Now police came and they made a lot of enquiries and they were totally clueless about the motive for killing this person, because wherever they inquired, they gave a very good report about this person. They said he is an orthodox member, highly religious, very pious and very gentle in character. Never, people never said any bad thing about him. Whenever they met, wherever they inquired, they could not find one evidence or one reason for killing this person. But they were focusing on many people whom they suspected and on suspicious ground. Can you make a guess whom they have arrested on the fourth day of the death of that elderly pious gentleman? The arrest of that person on the fourth day gave some interesting learning points in belief system. How belief system, when used in positive manner, how it helps to tide over the stressful situations, and when it is used in a negative manner, how it affects an individual, and also the repercussions on the people around him. The police department who tried to crack this case found that there were not much information available either to find the murderer or to identify the motive for this murder. Now, in this session 7, we will see how the police person was able to arrest the culprit on the 4th. In fact, the inspector who was assigned this job was meticulously following each and every one. Based on the clue available, he came to a conclusion that the killer is a professional killer. Based on the type of wound, type of instrument used, and his past experience, he concluded that this is the work of a professional killer. That means there is somebody behind the professional killer. He identified a group somewhere in the nearby district. So that day, on the 4th day morning, he wanted to visit that place. By the time he reached Egmore station, it was around 1:30 in the afternoon. So he decided to complete his lunch in one of the very famous non-vegetarian hotel just opposite to Egmore station, and he was taking his lunch. In the nearby table, there were 5 young persons, looked like college students. So naturally, they were making lot of noises, jokes, and they were taking the meals. At one point of time, the disturbance was very high. This police inspector, out of irritation, just raised his head and saw the group. He was not in police dress, he was just like an ordinary civilian dress only. So when he looked at, he had the shock of his life, because one of these students was, again, can you guess? Yes, now the time has come. It is the youngest son. I said this was the greatest shock to the inspector, because in the Tamil Nadu there is a tradition. They believe that after death there is reincarnation or birth. We have two great epics, Mahabharata and Ramayana. In Mahabharata, in the Kurukshetra war, when Arjuna was confused whether to go ahead with the war or not, because it will kill most of his relatives, at that time Lord Krishna gave this beautiful song. Maranathin Tanmai Solve Manidan Ma Maranamidadu Maruvadi Pirandirukkum. That means, for human being, for the soul, there is no death. Death is only for the body, physical body, and this soul will take a rebirth. So the customs of most of the culture, Tamil culture is, the ceremonies are based on the time taken for the soul to remain outside the body and to take the rebirth. So, mostly 13th and up to 41 days after death, it is considered as very important for the departed soul. So, in most of the houses where death has occurred, even if they are taking non-vegetarian on a regular basis, they do not consume non-vegetarian for a period of say 41 days or at least for 13 days. But here, in a traditionally orthodox, principled and vegetarian family, youngest son is not only taking non-vegetarian on the 4th day, but also having a gala time with his friends arose lot of suspicion. So the inspector immediately took him into control and started examining him thoroughly. Then came the truth. His father was a very principled person, but also very strict with his children. So, there were only 2 children. The elder brother, he was in love with his college mate, who was from outside their caste. He tried to convince the father many days, and the father flatly refused. If at all he marries that girl, it will be on his dead body only. So the elder son could not go against the wishes of the father. So what he did was, when an opportunity came, he took a foreign assignment and went to Dubai, telling his brother he will not come back to India as long as his father is alive. The younger son, who was very fond of his elder brother and who did not accept the control or the way of discipline enforced on them, used to always have friction with the father, but mother will always ensure that it doesn't go beyond their control. Now, when things were going on like this, one day during the conversation, the elder brother said, I do not care whether father is alive or dead. They gave an idea to the younger brother. As long as our father is alive, we will not be able to live a happy life. Because mother also used to say a lot of things about the father, about his strict control and things, how she suffered during the last so many years. So, the younger brother asked his elder brother that he will arrange to murder the father through some professional killer. The elder brother said, if you want, I can give up to 5 lakhs. But do not involve me in this. I am not happy with our family. So whatever you want, you can do with this 5 lakhs. Now, with this 5 lakhs, he approached a professional killer, and through that professional killer, it was arranged to kill his father for 5 lakhs. Now the professional killer agreed to kill whoever he wanted to kill. At that time, he did not reveal anything about the person. They agreed to meet at a temple in that place, and he has to show the person who has to be killed. Now, his father was coming from the temple, and lot of people were greeting them, and they were also falling at his feet, and with a smiling gesture, he was talking pleasantly with many people. Confusing to see such a gentleman, the professional killer asked him, what is the relationship between you and that person? The younger son said, he is my father. On hearing this, the professional killer said a beautiful lesson on power of positive thinking in belief system. When the younger son said, he is your father, the professional killer asked him, what exactly is the problem? Then the younger son had to narrate whatever the problems they had with their father. Immediately, the professional killer said, sir, I am not capable of advising you, educated people, but let me tell you what I honestly feel. Difference of opinion between father and son is a common factor in almost all houses. Even in my house, 2 days back only, my son, who is around your age, came to know that I have been earning money due to professional killer job. When he came to know through his friends that I was a professional killer, there were heated arguments in the house, and in a bitter voice, he said, I never knew that days you have fed me with the blood of other people. He also further said, if you are not discontinuing this in this very moment, I am not going to live with you. I will go and earn as a daily laborer. I do not want any further feeding with the tainted money you have earned by killing innocent people. Whatever your justification, I am not prepared. Since this happened, I also thought this will be my last killing. But when I saw your father, such a gentleman, so many people are coming and getting his blessings. Please remember, whatever be the difference of opinion, killing your own father is the greatest sin one could do in this world. You are already grown up like my son. If you do not like the discipline your father has enforced, if you do not like the style of your father, what prevented you, like my son, to leave that house and go like your elder brother and live separately? Because you want his money and you want, because of that, if you cannot leave that house, you have to accommodate him. Never think of killing your own father. It is the greatest sin you will commit in this birth. So please forget about killing your father and do not approach any other person to do this job. As far as I am concerned, it is the blessing of God that I have seen your father's face, and what my son has told me, I am going to do now. I have left this professional killing. From this very moment, I saw your father. He is a replica of the God himself. So even if you give 1 crore rupees, I am not prepared to kill this gentleman. He advised his son to think calmly and do not entertain this idea of killing his own father. Telling that, he left that place. Unfortunately, the younger son did not hear the advice properly, as his mind was corrupted with the motive to kill his father, as his belief system said, as long as our father is alive, happiness will not be there. So he said, if you are not doing, there are so many other people to do that. So he went and engaged another professional killer, and now that his brother and this younger son both were arrested for killing their father. Now, what is the learning point out of this episode? Please think carefully. The professional killer who has been brought up in an atmosphere of theft, murder, he thinks that killing your own father is the greatest sin one can do in this birth. Whereas the children of a traditionally orthodox religious person, brought up with discipline, brought up in a cultured family thinks that to your own happiness, it is not wrong to kill your own father with a professional killer. The positive belief system the professional killer had in his mind even has changed him from professional killer to earn ordinary living. Whereas a cultured family boy's negative thinking has landed him from a student position to a convict position later on. That is why value system and belief system are the two important factors we should always analyze critically in our mind so that we do not fall prey to our emotions. We need to understand that our value system, what we consider as most important, and our belief system. If we do that, many of the stressful situations we can initiate pro-actions instead of reactions. For that, we need to understand ourselves. The very greatest task is to understand the self. We need to, before we understand others, before we understand the environment, before we understand the society, it is absolutely essential that we should understand ourselves completely.